Hey, basketball fans, I'm George Sedano on the latest NBA Lockdown podcast. The full cast today. Amin Al-Hassan, Cassidy Hubbard, Kevin Pelton, and I talked to Pablo Torre about his LeBron piece, Adam Schefter about his new role as an NBA sideline reporter, and Draymond's comments.
Dan Le Batard.
Belichick is going to show off one week by simply not making a running back active. He's already doing the thing where he shows off by beating you with tiny white skill position people.
Stugotz.
They're annoying. I don't know what to tell you. They're just annoying.
How often do you confuse Amendola and Edelman? Oh, really? Another tiny white person? Is that Woodhead?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. James White, Super Bowl champion. We found him. He's going to join us here in just a second on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Detroit Red Wings, Gustav Nyquist, has been suspended 6 games for a high sticking. Roy, this is on you, not me. For high sticking, the Minnesota Wild's Jared Spurgeon. Nyquist will forfeit $158,000. Kentucky head basketball coach John Calipari is expected to be named head coach of the United States men's under-19 World Championship team. And finally, according to Collider, Movie Talk, Ben Affleck wants out of the Batman role badly. Collider Movie Talk specifies that they have been told that Affleck is talking with Warner Brothers in an attempt to get out of being Batman. And that if they do not let him out of being Batman, the standalone Batman film that ultimately happens will be the last time we see Affleck as Batman. Let's hope that happens. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Do you like Affleck as Batman? Yes or no?
No.
Yes or no? James White with us now, champion, inactive all but 3 games last year. James, do you like Affleck as Batman? Yes or no?
I don't mind him.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Batman, though? Who's your favorite?
It's tough.
You don't know any others?
Okay, you're not a big Batman guy. Do you have a favorite? Do you like those movies with superheroes in them? Do you like them or not?
Yeah, I like superhero movies.
And what would be which one do you like the best?
It's tough. I really can't choose one. I mean, each separate one is good as its own entity.
James, I'm not going to let you get out of this. I don't care that you're a champion. You Patriots don't say anything. Like, you guys have been all trained to not say anything. I am going to force you to have an opinion on this, whether you have one or not. James, even if this ends your relationship with the media, you will select a superhero, and then we will move on. So give me one, even if you don't mean it. You damn Patriots don't say anything. You will come on this show, and you will say something. Say it now. Pick one.
I don't know. Spider-Man movies are pretty good.
That's fine.
Perfect.
Fine.
Perfect.
James, it's not that hard. I know that Belichick's got you all brainwashed. It's not that hard. We're going to move on to the next difficult question.
I mean, man, you just won Belichick a Super Bowl. You.
No, he can't say anything, and he knows. He knows that he can't say anything because all of those damn – yes or no, the Patriots are a brainwashed cult. Yes or no?
No, we aren't.
Is he right there with a gun to your head? Is Belichick right there? You are, all of you. Who's the most interesting Patriot? Oh, it's Bennett, isn't it? And even
Martellus Bennett by far, brother.
Yeah.
Him and Gronk.
Yeah.
Gronk.
Do you have a good Gronk story for us? Do you party with Gronk at all?
No, I do not.
No, you do not, or no, you do not party with him? You don't have a story, or you don't party with him?
I don't really have a story, and I don't party with him.
Man, he is all Patriot way. You help us out here. How has your life changed since the Super Bowl?
I mean, honestly, it hasn't really changed much. I mean, some people recognize my name a little bit more than before, but it really hasn't changed much for me. At least I'm back home in Florida now, so I mean, in Boston, people recognize me a little bit more. But other than that, not much has changed.
Oh, wait a minute! Outside of Boston, you could probably walk most places without anyone having any idea who you are, right?
Boston and here, I think.
Exactly. exactly. I enjoy that.
I imagine you're probably anonymous even in Miami, right? Even though you're from here, you're probably. How often do you get recognized in Miami?
Not often at all. I like it that way, though.
So you don't like? Are you uncomfortable with this Conan? And you were with Kelly Ripa. Are you uncomfortable with that, or you enjoy? Wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, for the love of God! Yeah, that's another.
Are you uncomfortable with any of that, James?
No, I enjoy that, but I like being able to walk through daily life without people recognizing that's nice.
You made a late night talk show host a barbarian,
right? Because the beginning of this interview wasn't going well. And so I'm a little bit rattled.
Okay.
Deflecting.
My fault, not James's. My fault. I come out of the box. He wasn't expecting. He was game planning for a traditional football interview, and I come out of the box asking him difficult superhero questions.
No, that's fair. Our fault, not your fault. Our fault.
Okay, let's move on. You were on with Conan the Barbarian and Kelly Ripa. What was that like? Because you don't like that stuff. So what was that like?
Well, it's not that I don't like that stuff. I just those are great experiences, once in a lifetime experiences. I said I just like walking through life, like being able to like go to the mall and stuff without people recognizing me. That was a nice luxury to have.
I've got a suggestion for you. Stop scoring touchdowns in the Super Bowl. There you go. I have solved your problem.
That win the Super Bowl.
Yes, don't win the Super Bowl. Don't score touchdowns. Don't catch, what was it, 475 passes in the Super Bowl? I have that
74.
number. It was 474 passes? I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Did you know going into that game, James, that you were going to be that kind of player by game plan? Did you feel and know they were going to be throwing to you that much?
I knew I would have opportunities, but obviously I wasn't expecting to catch 14 passes. But that's just the way the game went. We were trailing most of the game, so we had to pass a lot. And I just wanted to be as open every time they called a pass play, and I had a route. I wanted to be open. So if Tom looked my way, he can get it to me easily.
James, are you an honest person? Do you consider yourself an honest person?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can I ask you a question that requires total honesty?
What is the question?
Are you secretly happy LeGarrette Blount fumbled in that football game?
No. That's one of my best friends on the team. I never want to see any of my teammates have any mishaps. I mean, he's a great player, did a lot of great things for us, and we wouldn't have been in that spot without him.
If he doesn't fumble, are you playing that much in that game?
I mean, honestly, you never know. I mean, we all play throughout the season. It all depends on the flow of the game and what the play calls going and what's going well. So I mean, we couldn't really run the ball that well, so we just had to throw it a whole bunch.
Can we agree that for you personally, it was a blessing in disguise? You weren't rooting for it, you weren't happy, but it was a blessing in disguise.
We can agree on that. James. We can agree on that. Blink if we can agree on that. You don't have to say anything. Just blink your eyes if we can agree on that.
I never wish that upon anybody.
We didn't say you wished it upon anybody.
Right.
We said it was a good thing for you. It ultimately ended up being a pretty good thing for you.
I would have played no matter what happened.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if you have the truck if that doesn't happen.
James, I know Belichick is there watching over you right now in a hostage situation. Just if you agree with us, let the wind blow into your phone. Just let us hear the wind blowing into your phone. He can't hear us.
Oh, I just got an opportunity, and I just wanted to make the most of it. That's all. That's all.
Got it.
Got it. Put it on the scroll. Put it on the scroll. James, what percentage of drinks have you had to pay for since the Super Bowl in Boston?
I mean, I only went out one time, so none.
0%. Well, congratulations on your success, because it really was a hell of a story. Miami kid inactive all but 3 games, and let the wind blow into your phone if you should have been Super Bowl MVP.
Tom Brady.
Nope.
Tom Brady was well deserving of it.
Let the wind talk, Jim.
Well deserving. He broke a record for the most passing yards.
All right.
Let the wind blow into your phone if you hate us.
You got funny.
Stugotz wants a new boat. Time for some more ads.
The wind was great.
What a great interview with the wind. Totally honest. I'm not used to that refrending. It's a breath of fresh air. Stop spending an excessive amount of money because you have to go on a business trip. Use Upside. It'll save you money. Tell them how, Stugotz.
Discover the best new way for you to buy travel. It's called Upside.com. Upside bundles your flight and hotel together for one low price. If you are a frequent business traveler, your company saves lots of money, and you can get thousands in gift cards just for buying your air and hotel together at Upside.com. Use the name Dan, and you are guaranteed to get at least a $200 Amazon gift card on your very first trip. The name Dan gets you at least a $200 gift card for free. Guys, check them out today. Save big on travel and get a big gift card every single trip. I've used it. I love it. I saved a lot of money and got my gift card. Check them out. You'll love Upside.com.
I love the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio. Dan Le Batard.
What would you say, Stugotz? I feel like you misrepresent me all the time. You've been doing this show with me for a long time. What is my viewpoint about coaches? Because I feel like even...
They don't matter at all. Misrepresentation?
Stugotz.
I don't even know why I bothered asking you.
What do you mean?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Ain't shady, baby, I'm hot like the prodigal son.
If you missed any of the show, you can listen to all 3 hours of the Dan Le Batard Show on demand in the ESPN app, plus our Miami-only hour that airs before the show, and now you can subscribe to our Best of podcast. It's all available in the Listen tab of the ESPN app.
Stugotz is going to try and shoot 100 free throws after the show at the Miami Heat's facility. You can watch on Facebook Live. We will have some links on Twitter at Le Batard Show. If he makes 78... above league average. League average is 77%. If he makes 78 out of 100, then he will get the run of this show for a month where the show is named after him. If he doesn't get to 50, and I don't think he's going to get to 50, he has to be Paul Feinbaum for a week. He has to come in dressed up and shave his hair like Paul Feinbaum, wear a suit like Paul Feinbaum, wear the glasses like Paul Feinbaum if he doesn't make 50.
And take your calls.
That's right. There will be calls taken. Thank you, all of you helpful people out there who buried us during the James White interview because you're spoiled and entitled, and we think that the interview was going spectacularly before you sent off the text to bury us because James White was not terribly revealing. I owe an apology to James White. I had a fact wrong during that. He was inactive all but 3 games of their last Super Bowl season. Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep up with their inactives. It's hard to keep up with their Super Bowl seasons. That's my mistake. He was active for the games this season.
You want me to bring him back so you can apologize?
Let's bring him back again tomorrow. Let's keep bringing him back every day the way we did with Kenny G and the way we're doing later with James Johnson.
As long as he brings the win with him, I think we should have him back on tomorrow.
The wind gave us more Patriots information than he did.
Wait, so listeners thought that we thought that was going swimmingly?
Oh, you know how it works here. You know how it works here.
But why do they think we did what we did?
First of all, the interview ended up being entertaining. Not because he was really... Man, not everyone's a fireworks show. It ended up being entertaining because ultimately our allegiance and our obligation is to you, the audience, and not to the guest. So we just did the rodeo clown thing of running all around him. He wasn't going to give us anything, and we probably should have let the interview go 5 minutes earlier. We hate the traditional sports radio interview. We think it's mindless and often droning and often the responsibility of the athlete to do jazz hands for us. But if he's not going to give us anything, we're going to try to save it. What I'm objecting to from the audience is, man, give us a minute. Give us 1 minute of patience for this entertainment vehicle that you pay so much for. So I understand why your standards are so high, because it costs you so much money and it's such a burden to you and your weekly paycheck to get this entertainment that you expect to be flawless every time, sometimes the interviews aren't going to be good. Sometimes we're going to flail around. Give us a second to try and save it before you bury us. I don't need your help on knowing when something's not going well.
We feel it, man.
I mean, it was he wouldn't answer the superhero questions, and he danced around them. And we knew right then, about 7 syllables in, oh, this is going to be a struggle.
But you have to send that text.
Yeah, you got to go and waste the telecommunications, waste the satellite, waste everyone's time by sending us in that we're drowning.
He couldn't choose. He didn't want to hurt like Green Lantern's feelings,
Right.
I guess.
I understand. The Patriots are not allowed to have an opinion. They get fined for it. But we're sitting around drowning. This is the relationship we have with our listeners. We're drowning. We know we're drowning. We're gasping for breath, and this is what they do. Hey, you guys are drowning. How about an anchor? While you're drowning, you want something heavier? You look tired.
Ooh, try swimming better.
Yeah.
You look tired.
Yeah. Can you guys swim better for me?
You're probably going to drown to death.
You're up there eating a sandwich. You're eating a hoagie. You look like Jack Nicholson in that boat with those women, shirtless with a hoagie. Go ahead and Google Jack Nicholson and hoagie, shirtless.
You'll thank us.
Yeah, go ahead and image search that. That's you. In fact, I'll wait for you. Listeners, right now, on your phones, your devices, go ahead and Google Jack Nicholson. In fact, Lorenzo, find that, please. Do we have to pay for that stuff when we put it on television? ESPN2. Find the photo and put it up on ESPN2 of Jack Nicholson shirtless. I'll wait for it. Hoagie. That's you, dear listener, as we drown and flail for our lives. That's you.
I have seen this picture no fewer than 300 times.
Yeah, it's funny.
Will never cease
Yeah, it's
to
a
be
funny photo.
I'll make it easier for you. Siri, show me pictures of Jack Nicholson eating a hoagie.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
You got
Siri.
mad at me about it first time on the radio.
Do it.
Here are some images of Jack Nicholson eating a hoagie I found on the web.
Thanks, Siri. Thank you, Siri.
I need to hire her. So are you going to put that up to the camera so that people can see it on ESPN2? Or are you going to
Would I just break the... Is this a loophole? It's really just to have Siri say Jack Nicholson eating a hoagie.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
good producing.
Okay, but anyways, my larger point is, so here we are. We're in the ocean with a running back on our back saying nothing. A champion running back. Me and Stugotz. We're dog paddling and we're drowning and we're sinking. We don't have snorkels. We don't have anything. I'm gurgling up water. You can hear me sweating. I'm actually drowning in my own sweat. And you float by in your vessel eating a hoagie, surrounded by young women, shirtless, with your belly hanging over the side of the boat. And what do? You comment on our drowning. You don't help.
Nope.
You don't offer, hey, try and interview the wind or do something funny around this. It's not any constructive criticism.
It's just, hey, you're drowning.
That's right.
Yep.
And here, and by doing that, what you're actually doing is throwing something heavy into the water with us. Here, you guys want to carry Gronk? Here, you throw Gronk into the water with us.
There's a picture of him. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I'm looking at the one Mike just zoomed in on. Those are some man boobs, man.
Yeah. But there's another one. If you stay on that image search, Mike, you'll see his head just bobbing out of the water. He's got a cigarette.
Yeah, him getting out of the boat is like funnier.
But those are the listeners. That's them. You swim by us with a cigarette while we're drowning. That is you guys.
You know, there are multiple photos of him eating a hoagie, both inside a boat and like at a Lakers game.
He loves.
I mean, he likes his hoagies. You can tell by his man boobs that he's a hoagie lover. Hasn't made a movie in 10 years. He's just been eating hoagies for 10 years. That is a great photo. Lorenzo, I'm sitting around waiting for you to put the photo up of Jack Nicholson with only his head above the water smoking a cigarette, which seems not healthy. But that's the listener.
Yep. Mike, the struggle for him to get back in the boat is just amazing. Have you seen that? Because everyone can relate to that when you're a bit overweight, right? And you're in the ocean trying to get back into a boat. It is really, really difficult. And no one is struggling more with it than Jack Nicholson.
Siri, show me a photo of Jack Nicholson smoking in the water.
Here are some images of Jack Nicholson smoking in the water I found on the web.
God bless you.
Good job, Siri.
Look at those boobs, man. Jack Nicholson's cleavage. Those, I mean, outside of the hair and the wrinkles, those are wonderful and voluptuous boobs. And let me add a bonus to this equation. Jack Nicholson eating that hoagie. You look at his nipples right now, Stugotz, and you tell me he's not aroused.
Hey, buddy, you're listening to the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio. Dan Le Batard.
People have told me before, when I was younger, that I looked like George Clooney. I'm serious. When I was younger.
Stugotz.
You have a booger in your right nostril.
So does Clooney.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Everybody was
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. James Johnson of the Miami Heat could be the sixth man of the year. He's going to join us in just a second on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Red Wings, Gustav Nyquist, has been suspended 6 games for high-sticking the Minnesota Wild's Jared Spurgeon. Nyquist will forfeit $158,333.34. Kentucky head basketball coach John Calipari is expected to be named head coach of the United States men's under-19 World Championship team. And finally, a vinyl record pressing company is offering a service that allows you to have a loved one's ashes pressed into a custom vinyl record. You get to pick the audio and album art, and the company takes care of the rest. Cool. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Cool. That sounds like a terrible idea.
I don't know.
Turning a loved one's ashes into a vinyl record that you then play. James Johnson with us now. Great idea. Great idea or terrible idea, James? Great idea or terrible idea?
Terrible.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's absolutely right. It's an awful
But
idea.
every time you play the record, you remember the person.
I know,
mean,
but it's just, and they're dead, and they're dead, and they're on. Oh, it's also morbid on top of everything else. A terrible idea that's also morbid. James Johnson was on with us yesterday. We told you he's a great fighter. He was 7-0 in mixed martial arts matches, 20-0 in all of his kickboxing matches. Do you have a favorite fighter, UFC or boxer that you like, James?
I definitely do. Mayweather, of course, got to go with the champ when it comes to boxing. You know, he's very technical. He knows how to hit without being hit, and that's longevity in that sport. And Jim Jones Bones, man.
Yeah, Bones Jones in MMA. He's a bad man. I found him to be pretty disappointing because he's just ended up wrecking his career. So much promise there, wrecking his career with all the abuse, the substance abuse.
Definitely agree with you there.
James, it's your fighter. Like if McGregor and Mayweather actually fought, Dan says if it's a boxing match, and he's not alone on this, that Mayweather would win it and win it rather easily. Do you agree with that?
Definitely agree. I don't think he would knock him out, but I think he would definitely beat him.
Can you give us the last time, James, that you were tried outside, like in a bar or something? When's the last time James Johnson was in a fight that wasn't a sanctioned professional fight?
It was right my freshman year of college. Young immature JJ went out. That was the last time I've been tried.
Well, how'd that go? Give us some details. What happened?
I got disturbing the peace
Pretty much.
Oh, you got arrested.
Disturbing the...
Okay, you
No,
disturbed.
I didn't get arrested. No, disturbing the peace.
Okay, why? What? Do you not want to talk about this? It sounds like you sound like that's fine if you don't want to talk about it. We don't want to.
Nah, it definitely, it's not a big deal. It's definitely we could talk about it. It's not a big deal. It was just disturbing the peace. That's pretty much what it was.
Okay, did he disturb your? Did this person?
Yeah.
All right, this person disturbed your peace. Did you then disturb their face?
It was just more talk. It was more talk how it always is.
All right, just like most NBA fights.
Definitely.
All right.
That's all the NBA fights.
So James Johnson is with us on ESPN Radio. Let's play this sound. We talked to George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre is now coming back to mixed martial arts. It's been reported that he's coming back. We asked George St. Pierre how long it would take him to kill Stugotz. We're going to ask James Johnson the same question. Here's George St. Pierre's answer.
George, how quickly could you kill me if you wanted to?
I don't know. Depend of you. Do you have a weapon on your? So maybe you can kill me faster. You know?
No, I have no weapon, and you just
nobody is faster than a bullet, my friend.
Okay, but take the gun and the weapon out of it. I have no weapon. You just decide you don't like me and you want to kill me.
No, he's got a pool cue. Let's give him a pool cue. How quickly can you kill him?
Yeah, do you have any sharp object near you?
No, just a billiard cue. All he's got is one.
I'm sure you have a pen.
No pens.
A pen. Okay. We've got a pool stick and we've got a pen. How quickly could you kill him?
I believe it could take me less than 30 seconds.
Thank you, George.
Okay, so James Johnson, we give you the job of you have to kill Stugotz. How much information do you need on Stugotz before you answer this question?
How much you weigh?
Like 170, 175.
I got about 15 seconds.
Okay, and what would be your disposal method? What would you go with? Would you beat him to death by turning his face into ground beef, or would you choke him out? How are you doing this?
Yeah, I would just do the choke out. You know, I'm stronger. I can squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
More of the python react. You know, go for the choke out.
Okay, wow. And you think but 15 seconds? I don't think you could do it that fast, James. I question that. In fact, let's do it. Let's try it. I want to invite you to the studio.
Well, hold on. Let me remind James that I have a pen.
Right. Oh, how dare you underestimate? He's got a pen, James.
Yeah. The pen?
Yeah, I have a pen.
The pen's going to make me mad, I think.
Oh,
so 10 seconds.
Oh, my God. All right, so here we go.
All right, so I'm ditching the pen, and I guess...
When are we going to make this happen?
Yes, we'll have an event. I don't believe James Johnson could kill Stugotz in 15 seconds. I defy him to do it. Now, we've got some insurance issues. We've got some liability issues. If I'm wrong on here, the consequences are really disastrous.
If this does happen, though, I want you to make my ashes into some sort of record, some vinyl, okay?
Yes. Stugotz is headed to the arena, by the way, at 1:30 to try a free throw challenge. Are you back in town? Like, you could do it right? We can do this. We can set this up literally in an hour.
I'm definitely in Miami.
Okay. All right. We're going to see if he's at the facility.
What an odd radio promotion this is.
Put into Facebook Live.
All right, Facebook Live. This just happened to a Dominican journalist was killed on Facebook Live. Tune into Facebook Live in 1 hour to see if James Johnson can kill Stugotz in 15 seconds. If he's...
Now, if I'm still breathing, there needs to be consequences, James. If I'm still breathing after 15 seconds, then something bad has to happen to you.
No,
you have to dress as Paul Feinbaum.
I'm gonna let you go before it gets to that point. But you would know that it would have been over in 15 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, so you're going to take me to the brink of death and then let me go?
Yes. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah,
this seems like an excellent promotion here. I like everything about this.
I'll bring your pen.
All right. How about a pool cue? I got a pool cue.
If James Johnson is right, we all win, except for Stugotz. If James Johnson is wrong, there have to be consequences for James Johnson. You get to roundhouse kick James Johnson.
What am I going to do with that roundhouse kick?
You'll get the roundhouse.
Yeah, but I'll hurt myself more than I'll hurt you.
Probably. All right, now, I'm always saying, James, that we perpetually underestimate how good you guys are, how athletic you are, how sculpted your skills are. You told us yesterday that you could roundhouse kick a ball or several balls out of the basketball net, out of the rim as well. Stugotz is going to do this free throw challenge. He thinks he can make above league average from the free throw line. He thinks he can shoot 78 out of 100 free throws. What do you imagine? He's 44 years old. When was the last time you picked up a basketball?
Oh, it's probably like a month and a half ago.
Okay, so how many do you think he's going to make? What information do you need to make an assessment?
Out of how many?
100. He's going to make 78. He thinks he's going to make – I don't think he's going to make 50.
What info do you need, James? I already gave you the weight. I'm 175. I'm 5'8". And I will tell you.
I'm giving you 80. I'm giving you 80. It's all about confidence.
Oh,
he sounds confident. 78 is a confident number.
Wow.
He's 5'6".
Well, 5'6". Does that matter? 5'7", 5'6", somewhere in that range.
I see what just happened here. James Johnson is giving you confidence before he kills you. This is what happened. Before he kills you in 15 seconds.
Yep.
Your nickname.
That one.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, go ahead.
Your nickname is said to be Bloodsport. Does anyone actually call you that? That doesn't sound like something that people actually call you.
That was more of like I'm walking down the street and then I just hear, "Hey, Bloodsport." It's like that. No locker room calls me that or nothing like that. It's just hilarious.
All right, just one guy down the street called you Bloodsport one time.
No, I mean that's what I get because one person started this rumor that I get the Bloodsport. So when I walk down the street or if I'm walking down the street or something, I just hear it randomly. Bloodsport, that's how they call me.
Yeah, I get that sometimes as well.
All right. This matchup is...
I'm not mad.
We're gonna
bloodier sport.
All right, bloodier sport. All right, James, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, definitely.
All right, see you, James.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans, designed to keep up with you no matter what you're doing. Wrangler, be comfortable.
Dan Le Batard.
I'm going to a concert. The date is in my bedroom. Somebody has used the bidet, and it doesn't look clean. And so I'm sitting here, and I'm like, well, how do I clean this?
Stugotz.
So I'm staring at this. I got 4 faucets, and this doesn't look clean to me, and I've got a date outside, and I'm like, that's kind of gross. That she would come in here and there would be a dirty bidet. She's going to accuse me. I don't know how to use the bidet. I turn one of the fountains right in my face. Gets my shirt all wet.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Stugotz is headed out
in
15 minutes to the Miami Heat's arena, where he will partake in his free throw challenge. All of us are now rooting officially for him to make fewer than 50 free throws, and he will have to spend 1 week as Paul Feinbaum, shave his hair, glasses, suit.
I don't think it really matters at this point because after I'm done shooting foul shots, James Johnson is just going to kill me.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll dress you up real quick before that.
Just to get the gag in?
Yeah.
The payoff?
I love our newfound friendship with James Johnson.
He's great, man.
Random.
Yeah.
Weird. We'll see if James Johnson shows up. You got it. Mike, where can people see this challenge? Facebook Live, where else?
We've tweeted out a direct link to it, but if you don't have Twitter, just facebook.com/The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Stugotz spells his name with a Z at the end.
Can people get there even if they don't have Facebook? How does this work if you don't have Facebook? Because a lot of people are writing in. They want us to do it on Periscope. How do we do that?
That's a good question.
Okay, good work.
We'll
As
see.
always,
maybe while who's doing the Facebook Live? Is it you're doing it? So maybe we'll Periscope off my phone. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right.
There'll be plenty of avenues for you. We will make sure to make this something fun for you.
How about my death? How do they see that? Same place? Facebook Live,
yes,
Mike?
Facebook. Well, live probably isn't the word we want to use there. Facebook dead. Go ahead and update the polls for today.
At Le Batard Show on Twitter, which would you rather be? Major League Baseball owner or ambassador to France? 82% said a Major League Baseball owner.
Jeff Loria, the owner of the Marlins, is somehow in a position where, well, never mind.
Should Jeffrey Loria be ambassador to hell? 80% of the audience said yes. Are you wondering whether or not Stugotz can make 78 out of 100 free throws? 56% of the audience said no. Did you know that AARP is by far the most circulated magazine in America?
That's crazy.
It is crazy. 81% of the audience said no. LeBron's Sprite commercial, awful or worse than that? Worse than that got 61% of the vote. Did you ever hear a celebration of life through sports? I've heard the show. It's so bad. 80% of the audience said no.
Hold on, Mike, can you call your father on air right now? I'd like to hear you thank him for all the love that he's given you over the years, all the support. That's where we got to starting to talk about this. Even if you have to leave him a message, I just want to hear your version, your side. I want to be someone who promotes this. That's how we got to starting to talk about it, because we were talking about just positive sports radio and creating things in sports radio that produce positivity and light, and that show tried very hard to do that. So I want to go ahead, maybe we'll do this every day, where we motivate the listeners and some of the people around here to appreciate their fathers.
Hey, Dad. I just want to tell you how much I love you and appreciate you. Thank you for raising me right.
Wow, and you're on TV. I'm watching you.
All right, that's enough.
You can't hang up
gotta
on him.
give him more,
you
Mike.
can't hang up on him. Did you hang up on him?
No, he's still there. You're still there. You want to tell the guys that that time that Jimmy Snuka almost killed you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, I don't want to.
Okay.
All
Good.
right.
All right. Good talk. All right.
He loves you, though. He loves you.
That's nice. See, that's nice. Let's do some more of that every day. Go
Did
ahead.
it feel good, Mike?
Awkward.
He seemed surprised.
Awkward. It was awkward, but he was touched. He was moved.
You love him, though, I guess.
Do you want to see a Pablo Mbomani TV show? 51% of the audience said yes.
All right.
Do you find Pablo arrogant and condescending?
That would be the reason that they might not want to watch that TV show.
54% of the audience said yes. Bad for Pablo.
Congratulations, Pablo.
Can a woman give birth to a goat? Just leave it alone, man. All right, I can't say it. 73% of the audience said no.
They're ignoring the photos.
I know. Well, 27 said yes, there are photos. What can I tell you?
I wasn't shaking my head because you can't say woman and you made it women. I was shaking my head because the question is, can a woman give birth to a goat? That's why I was shaking my head.
And parenthetically, there's photos.
Yeah. Yep, there are photos. How many free throws does Stugotz have to make to avoid dressing like Paul Feinbaum for a week? Your choices were 50 or 47. I wanted Dan to spot me 3. 70% of the audience, predictably, said I have to hit 50.
Okay.
49, technically. You're spotting me 1. Whose hair looks better? Dana Holgerson or Paul Feinbaum? Maybe the greatest poll question we've ever had. So many votes. 50-50. Never happened before. 50-50, man. I voted Holgerson. Did you vote on that one?
No.
Oh, you don't vote on these?
No.
Do you talk to any of your friends every single day? 61% of the audience said no.
I wish we hadn't talked to Danny today.
So do I. He apologized, by the way.
He was terrible.
He was awful. Do you like Ben Affleck as Batman? 61% of the audience said no. Those are the poll questions today.
That's a good show.
Yes.
Filled with poll questions. How excited are you guys about this Stugotz free throw challenge right now? What kind of excitement is there in the back room? This is happening. We have trapped the snake, the slithering snake, and he now has to go do it to back up some of his talk.
There's still plenty of time for him to come up with some sort of
an elephant's gonna run
weaselly
into
way
his
out
car.
of this.
Yeah, run into his car on the way to the arena.
It's like a 2-mile drive from here to the arena, right?
Yeah, there are 2 miles of lies that can be cooked up. Guys, I couldn't get there. Family emergency. You're not going to believe this. Personal problems. Can't talk about it.
Guys, there's a Minotaur on the causeway. Can't drive past the Minotaur.
Plus, I'm in a rental car right now because my car's in the shop. I didn't sign any agreement for the rental car, so I might just run it right into Biscayne Bay.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys want to do? All fake Stugotzes? Let's go. Let's do it together to end the show. Fake Stugotz excuses on the way to the free throw challenge. Just things he's going to say in the next 2 miles as he drives over there.
Hey, buddy.
I'm really sorry.
I didn't get the Centaur insurance.
A unicorn hit me in the face.
I just got bit by a Dracula.
My shooting arm was poisoned by a tarantula.
We'll talk to you mañana. This was the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
I'm Andy Katz from ESPN, along with my co-host Rick Klein of ABC News. On the latest edition of Capital Games, we're going to be joined by North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper to discuss HB2. We're also going to dissect the new Nike ad called Equality. I'm Andy Katz, along with my co-host Seth Greenberg, on the latest edition of Courtside with Katz and Coach G. We're going to break down the top 16 with NCAA Tournament Selection Committee Chair Mark Hollis, and also be joined by South Carolina head coach Frank Martin.
The NBA All-Star Game this Sunday.
Here's Curry behind the back, half-court heave on its way, and he hits it!
Coverage begins Sunday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.